What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Vintage Cube Draft. Yeah, we're opening lots of power lately. This is awesome. I'll just take the Mox Sapphire. Definitely nice to start with a blue Mox. I do really like playing blue decks in Vintage Cube. But honestly, avoiding blues sometimes is a really good strategy just because of how overdrafted it is. Now, this pack is basically filled with average power level cards, so I'll just take best blue card as it goes with my Mox. And I like to start blue anyways, so I think Fact or Fiction is a pretty good card to take here. Treachery is a pretty good blue card, but yeah, I think maybe it's been overvalued by myself and by a lot of players. I really like my creature interaction to be very cheap, so I can like remove a mana dork from the ramp deck or a 1 or 2 drop from other aggro decks. I think that's really important, and even though Treachery is very powerful in the late game, it's not necessarily what you need to do. I think I'll just take it anyways just to stay blue, but yeah, I do think it's maybe not as good as some people think. There were 2 good Storm cards in the last pack too, so Storm definitely might be open. Now I could take Pestermite, go into blue-red. Maybe I could find the Splinter Twin later. I think that archetype's fine. I don't think it's like amazing. Could also take Watery Grave, but I haven't seen any great black cards yet. I'll just keep taking the blue cards for now. So now maybe I will branch out from blue. I think Repeal is just kind of weak. It's good against like tokens. It only has like a few good applications. So I think maybe I'll take the Unholy Heat as the best card that's not blue. Pyromancer's good too, but you really want cheap instant speed removal from red. There are a lot of blue cards that can replace Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, it's looking like this is a rare draft where blue is actually open. Getting a 6th pick Counterspell. I mean, Counterspell is good enough to be first pickable, so I will be very happy to take that. And red looks open too. There's 2 5-drops, but would rate both of these cards pretty low. So we're pretty heavily in blue. Definitely going to be playing blue. Then I'm not sure on the second color. Probably not green though, unless we really table some great green cards. But yeah, here it's just going to be Stormcaller or Sower. I don't value the swords too highly. I think I like Stormcaller a little bit better. I already have Treachery to steal a creature, and Sower is really good in certain matchups where the opponent doesn't have removal, like against mono green. Now I'll just take the red card. Emrakul Wield. You could always speculate on that and go into like Show and Tell Sneak Attack, but I just haven't found that archetype to be great. I think it's just a little bit... It's just not that consistent. Maybe we kind of have a good start for it, though. I have this discard outlet, so maybe I will just speculate on this. I would take the sword, because that would be fine too, but let's see if we can use the Emrakul. Now I could take the Eyelet or the Hellkite. I think the Hellkite is too replaceable, so I'm going to pass it. And the High Tide did not wheel, but Past in Flames did wheel. Guess I'll take that. We don't really have storm cards, though. Okay, red is definitely pretty open. Yeah, so here's the Goldspan Dragon. Kind of interesting. Or I can just take the other Eldrazi. Could have had two of the better Eldrazi's. So I guess taking the Goldspan Dragon is a hedge. Wow, okay, we finally opened Black Lotus. So I'm kind of sad that I'm not in Storm. And yes, Storm seems maybe a little open. Yeah, it's at least a little open. I mean, I tabled Past in Flames and 1000-Year Storm. But we'll definitely take the Black Lotus. And then it's possible we can move into Storm. Maybe if I wheel the Bolas's Citadel, that would be good. Let's see how this shapes up. Lotus is kind of at its worst in blue control decks. Because you really want to be proactive with Black Lotus. You don't want to just like hold up reactive cards. But yeah, I can't pass up on this Jace. Turn 1 Jace is going to be good, even though it is a pretty reactive card. That's still going to be an incredibly powerful play. Getting a fast Goldspan Dragon, that's really good too, because it starts to create treasures for you, which is really good on turn 2. Getting treasures on turn 5, you know, I mean, it's decent, but if you Lotus out this dragon, then that's when you really need extra mana. Here's Glorybringer, so that's the last dragon. We've seen the previous 2 in the first pack. I think Glorybringer might be the best of the dragons. And Chrome Mox would be decent in this deck. I have a lot of card draw. Karn would be okay. I think the Mox is just too good. Okay, here's Yogg-Will. Do I want to just abandon everything and just go into Storm? I think we're like a little too far from that. I'll take the Bloodstained Mire. And maybe if we table those cards, we can move into Storm. Here, yeah, I'm happy to take Bone Crusher Giant. It's just such a strong, versatile card. Now I think I want to take either Inferno Titan or Time Warp. I'll just take the Titan. There's not that many good high-end cards left for me to get. I guess like Consecrated Sphinx, there's a few left. But I do want to make sure I get at least one more. I don't know if that Glorybringer is going to table. I don't really like Dragon's Rage Channeler in these style decks. I would prefer to have like counterspells and removal in the early turns and then threats on the later turns. This card more goes in like the aggressively slanted decks. I guess I'll take the Dismember. Here's Tamiyo. This is a card I like. Not clear that we'll be able to play it, but maybe. Okay, we did wheel the Citadel. But yeah, we're just pretty far off from casting it. We don't have a Stormwind condition. Yeah, I don't really think we're a Citadel deck. So what should I take? A Burn Spell or a Thieving Skydiver? I'll take the Skydiver. Even just as an answer to something like Umezawa's Jite, I really like to be able to destroy artifacts in all of my control decks. And I can't really use any of these cards. Spellbinder is really good. Okay, we did get the Glorybringer back, so yeah, I'll be happy to take that. And now you can see why I passed the Thundermaw Hellkite. Kind of get a lot of this effect kind of far off from this green splash, but we do have the Tamiyo and Raging Ravine. Pretty much it. Wow, okay, we open another Mox. This one's off color, but I will be happy to take that. So this Tamiyo splash is probably not going to happen. Now that we have an off-color Mox, we really want to have the right color mana. And it's looking like the Emrakul plan might not happen, and the Pestermite plan also might not happen. So we might just be a regular blue-red control deck that wins with Dragons or Inferno Titan. Unlicensed Hearse, this is a new card to the cube, and it's been pretty impressive. It's good against Uro, it's good against Reanimator, it's even good against Storm. There's actually a lot of good decks that need to use their graveyard. But yeah, I'm going to take the Iteration. Just a great card draw spell. Would like to get one more burn spell like this Burst Lightning. Portent would even be good. It's really good with Seagate Stormcaller. Let's take the Portent. We're kind of missing that effect. Okay, Ketria Triome, that's a good land for us. Take that or Spellseeker. I like Spellseeker here. It's really good with all of our fast mana. Yeah, I like Remand a lot. Now, Sorcery Speed removal or artifact removal? I already have the Skydiver. I think the Chain Lightning is a little bit more important. And now Lelia for the cheap threat. Or Imperial Recruiter. Lelia is not at its best in counterspell decks, because those are just like blanks when you hit them, but Lelia is insane with Moxen. It's insane with Black Lotus. So yeah, we actually have like an amazing Lelia deck. Now I can just take this burn spell. And it looks like we have enough playables. Abbott, I don't like Abbott. It has the same problems with counterspells as Lelia. It's just, I find it to be a very average card. Yeah, actually we do need some more playables, because Emrakul is coming out. Pestermite is a very average card in this deck, because we didn't get the combo. Okay, yeah, I was expecting to table the Fury. Happy to get that. Yeah, I think our curve turned out pretty good. Yeah, we have a lot of 1 and 2 drops, but then we have a lot of late game too. Adversary is a pretty cool card, and I don't mind it in these decks. But I like it more in like the aggressive decks that want early drops. Okay, and then the rest of these picks are not really going to matter that much. I don't think there's anything that's going to wheel. Okay, we wheeled the Shield Breaker. I'm happy to have that in the sideboard. And Imperial Recruiter, we could play that. It's good in the slower matchups. Maybe it's better than Pestermite. So what do I want to cut? I actually wish we had more card draw. I think the Dismember makes sense to cut. Probably our worst removal spell. Now this is 23 cards. This looks pretty good. Then we'll just go even on the basics. And yeah, Let's try this out. Okay, so I just realized that I'm counting Chrome Mox as a mana source here. I don't know if I want to do that. I want to put one more land into this deck. So I need to cut something. Just cut Char, it's not efficient. Have plenty of more burn spells. And then yeah, I'll play 14 lands, 2 Moxen, a Lotus, and a Chrome Mox. That's not bad. This hand looks pretty good. Gonna exile one of the 5 drops. I think Glorybringer, just because it can remove a creature, is gonna be better. I could remand this, but I'll save the remand. I'll try to get like a bigger tempo swing with it later, maybe on turn 3 or 4. Do I want Spellseeker or Fable of the Mirror Breaker? Maybe Spellseeker is a little bit better. Fable does ramp me into my 5 and 6 drops. So let's take the Fable. It looks like we might be playing a mirror match here, but I'm just going to get the Fable onto the board. Maybe, hopefully later in the game, I'll have a chance to put the remand down, or sorry, to hold the remand up. So this will be a good turn for me to resolve Glorybringer. Would be really nice to resolve Inferno Titan as well. Maybe I just put back Remand, put back Burst Lightning, discard both of those. So now we're flooding a little bit, but I did keep my most impactful cards. The way that this works out poorly is if my opponent has a way to steal my creatures. Like Treachery will be really good. Sower of Temptation, I can answer that with Glorybringer, so I like that. And this line I've taken, it's also a little bit weak against Splinter Twin combo. I'm not sure if they have that yet, but I got rid of the Burst Lightning, which is a way that I have to break up that combo. But I'm really ahead on mana, so I want to just be proactive, just try to like close out the game. Okay, yeah, Glenelendra, Archmage. It's not going to do much. I mean, I guess they're going to chump block Inferno Titan with it. Okay, cool. So yeah, it looks like they might just be playing blue-red control. Not sure of their win condition yet. Oh, this hand is so powerful, but it has no red mana. Guess I'll mulligan. Kind of want to just gamble, though. These cards look good enough to keep. I like the Chrome Mox. Pyromancer, okay. Oh, okay. I have a mountain on top of my library. I think I don't need to hold up Counterspell this turn. I want to hold it up on turn 4, because I want to counter Glenelendra Archmage. So I'm just going to keep waiting on this Chrome Mox. Don't want to exile any of my cards here. So yeah, just holding up the Counterspell in case they have a really strong threat. Still have plenty of card draw left. They did start the game off with an Ancestral Recall, though, so I think I'll just main phase this. Hey, I'm not sure what my opponent was doing there. They gave me all 5 cards. I guess that was a misclick. So now I can do Fable of the Mirror Breaker or Lelia. I guess Lelia, this one really demands an answer. Still haven't seen the Splinter Twin combo. Shark Typhoon and Goldspan Dragon, maybe that's how they're trying to win the game. A very similar deck to ours. Okay, so yeah, they had to spend their whole turn dealing with the Lelia, so I'm happy about playing it last turn. Okay, that was pretty good. Now I'm just going to hold both of these lands in hand so I can discard them next turn. And it's looking like the game is getting pretty grindy. It will be tough for me to answer like an Inferno Titan or something for my opponent. We'll see what other sorts of win conditions they have. Okay, I don't mind Glorybringer because we have Fury to answer that. It's nice to have a target for Fury on the board, actually, so that this card doesn't get stuck in my hand. I'll just wait on the Treachery. My opponent has so many cards. Yeah, like I said, something with a lot of toughness would be hard for my deck to deal with. All right. Not bad. Okay, well, we're falling pretty far behind. I'm not sure if we can come back from this. I could still destroy their Fury, so this is good. But Archmage is going to be hard to deal with. And they have 2/3/3 flyers, and I'm at 9. Looks like my opponent's deck is pretty proactive, though. I haven't seen counter spells yet. They mostly have burn spells, card draw, some creatures, a time warp. So we might be able to sideboard a little bit against that. Leaving Skydiver for the Smuggler's Copter is good to know. I want to bring in Dismember or Char, or maybe both. Just because it deals with the dragons. I think Fury is a little weak. No, Fury's fine. Got the Imperial Recruiter. And Dismember over Chain Lightning. This hand is kind of insane. Guess I just want to factor fiction here. And yeah, I'm just going to main phase it again. I don't see why I shouldn't. I think that was an okay split from my opponent. Yeah, and this has just been a perfect example of how good fast mana is. It's just the best thing you can do in Magic. Good games, opponent. Let's go to round 2. Here we are for round 2 on the play. I'll keep this hand. I mean, it is not best ever, but I mean, it has turn 1 Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, I think I should do that. This is not like the best use of Black Lotus, but what are you going to do? Looks like we're playing against Blue-Black Reanimator. And they will get to flip this Jace fairly soon, but would like to steal their Mox here. Okay, their Planeswalkers are looking pretty good right now. Just going to play everything out so that their Liliana is less effective. Now, pretty much just hoping to draw a dragon. It looks like they're going to use their removal spell here. Okay. I want to keep Remand. No, I think I want to discard it. Wasn't hoping to get a land, of course, but no, I think I attack the Jace here. And if they want to Liliana minus, that's fine. I have Seasoned Pyromancer to make 2 1/1s. That's totally fine. If they want to trade Liliana for one of my 1/1s, they can do that. Okay, Tireless Tracker is definitely a good draw. But I can start stealing their clues with Jiki Jiki plus Thieving Skydiver. They're, yeah, so they have green, and yeah, so they're like a mid-range planeswalker deck. Okay, no clue this turn. Interesting. Definitely a good draw. I think maybe I want to take the Grist off of the board. Okay, no, sorry. So this, yeah, you can't cast Kicker. Yeah, this is a Kicker. It's not an enter the battlefield. So I cannot use the Skydiver to steal the clues. Okay. So yeah, that was kind of a tough decision, but I'll kill the Grist because I want to keep using this Kiki-Jiki. And if I draw one of my good creatures, this Kiki-Jiki is going to get even better. So we're kind of flooding here a little bit, but my opponent is also constrained on mana, and it looks like their hand must be filled with some expensive cards. They haven't played anything, and they haven't played any lands. So let's see if the Brainstorm, yes, so it has found them at least one land. Okay, Spellseeker, this is definitely going to be good. And I have Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to go with it, so... Okay, Unholy Heat. Yeah, I'm going to want to use this card. Let's destroy the Tireless Tracker now. I don't know if I've had this combo before, but it's pretty good. So now I can hold Counterspell up to make sure this combo doesn't get broken up. Okay, that seems good enough to counter. There's the Glorybringer. So I'll get the Expressive Iteration. This is kind of risky if they have like a discard spell. But otherwise, I think this is the best one to get. Okay, Tovolar's Huntmaster. Let's see. Okay, Fury, that's going to be good. Fact or Fiction in hand. Island bottom. Take the Fury. Yeah, Fury plus Reflection of Kiki-Jiki could wipe their board. So, okay, we got that one. Yeah, they might not be Reanimator. They might just be like Recurring Nightmare value Sultai. That's more of what it looks like. His hand is missing blue mana, but I think it's good enough to keep. The Fable of the Mirror Breaker should be able to find us blue before too long. Library is definitely really good against us. Okay, so they'll be able to take the Mox Pearl here. So in the future, I'll probably be playing out my Moxen. Yeah, you never know against black-green. You don't want to play into something like Reclamation Sage, but you also don't want to play into something like Duress. You don't want to Burst Lightning in response to the ability here, because I believe the way that this card works is that then they would be able to take your card and you would never get it back. It would just stay exiled before the leaves the battlefield ability triggers. Okay, yeah, we just have basic mountains. Okay, I couldn't remember if I had a tap land. But yeah, this game is going to be really hard to win. They're going to draw an extra card every turn. Okay, we drew a land, so yeah, I'm not going to give up yet. But it feels like it's going to be hard to overcome this Library of Alexandria. They have a lot of removal and disruption. They have Sword, okay. Okay, yeah, I think we're just a little too far behind. So I'm going to concede this one. And now that I see the Sword, I will bring in Embereth Shieldbreaker. And maybe even taking out Treachery. Treachery is it's kind of good against their, like... They did have the 6-drop that makes 2 wolves. It's good against that card. Yeah, I feel like Treachery is one of the weaker cards. They're more of like a Planeswalker control deck. Okay, we have to mulligan this. We don't have blue mana, and it's missing our best cards. We want to... Yeah, this is same hand from the first match, where we had Spellseeker into Factor Fiction. This is what we're looking for with this deck. I'm not sure about the Fiery Islet. I'm going to keep it. The damage probably doesn't matter that much. So the opponent is on 6. This is kind of a... Well, no, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just going to Spellseeker for whatever I think the best card is, and I do think it's Expressive Iteration. Now, even if they have discard, I'll still be left with one card draw spell. Okay, interesting. I'm just going to main phase Fact or Fiction again. I don't think I've seen counter spells from them yet, but yeah, we can Black Lotus into Fable of the Mirror Breaker here now. Let's see, they have to split Lotus and Inferno Titan, I think. But now I can do this, and I got the pile of 3, so now I can just discard this Chrome Mox and Mountain to the Mirror Breaker, and this is going to be really good. Discard Chrome Mox and Mountain. Glory Bringer in hand. Chain Lightning on bottom. I think I still have one more Mountain in my deck. I have maybe even 2, actually. I might want to use this Bloodstained Mire. I am holding it because I have Jace, the Mind Sculptor, in my deck. A Witness on Snuff Out. So they can use that to destroy my Glory Bringer. I would like to avoid that. But I don't really know if I have a way to avoid that. I'm just going to play the Glory Bringer. And I don't want to let them trade with the Spellseeker. I want to force them to break up this Kiki-Jiki Spellseeker combo. And yeah, I'm definitely glad that I kept the Fiery Islet in this hand. This deck is certainly prone to flooding out, so I'll be able to sacrifice this next turn if I have to. So let's see if they have one more piece of creature removal. If they don't, I'm feeling pretty good about just copying Spellseeker every turn. Wow, okay, they have Uro. Yeah, this is the... I was really hoping they wouldn't have any life gain. Forest, Island, wow. Yeah, Uro is really good against my deck, and it's going to be really good this game. There's the Remand. Keep holding on to the Mire. The Remand will be really good on Uro, because they're going to have to exile their whole graveyard. And then it might take them a while to get it back. Let's see, do they have... This is a forest. Yeah, I think they have Uro mana here. So I'll be happy to remand this. Okay, there's first burn spell and Imperial Recruiter. Okay. Yeah, Recruiter is going to be great here, because I can get Lelia. So those were a few really good draws, actually. And there's the mountain. That might be our last mountain. I like my opponent's deck. It's definitely going to be really strong in the late game. But sometimes these decks struggle against fast clocks or against fast mana. Okay, awesome. Well, good games, opponents, and let's go to the final round. Okay, we're 2-0 again, and we're on the draw in the last round. And yeah, we have turn 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor. Definitely going to keep this hand. Yeah, I'll start by just brainstorming. I might want to get rid of this Chrome Mox eventually, I'm not sure. This isn't looking like a great Chrome Mox hand yet. Brawl, okay, are we playing against Storm? Start by brainstorming again. Yeah, I kind of like playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. But yeah, we're going to use the Chrome Mox. And what do we not need? Maybe I don't need this Unholy Heat. That back Mountain, Unholy Heat. And yeah, Thieving Skydiver. I'll just exile that. Okay, I'll let them have one turn with Brawl. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. I can kill the Brawl next turn. I'll use the fetch land next turn. I could have used it this turn, but I have Unholy Heat on top of the library. You know, maybe I'll actually want that card. I'm not sure. Blue-black with Brawl. I mean, it looks like Storm, but it could also be Reanimator. It could be a control deck, but maybe that's the least likely. Okay, so we see a red source of mana, but we also see Kaito. So I think I'll discard the island, draw into the mountain that's on top. And now I don't know any more cards, so yeah, let's just... Hold on, so should I just brainstorm again? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just don't need this expressive iteration. Put that back and put mountain back. Now let's shuffle those away. And now I'll destroy the Kaito. Just so that they don't have a discard outlet. I'm not sure if they're playing Reanimator. But I have so much card advantage from this Jace that I'm just trying to deal with all their permanents. Then I can play Inferno Titan next turn if I want to. Probably remand anything that costs 3 or more mana here. Okay, I'll definitely remand that. But okay, it looks like they're going to be able to recast it, but they will have to discard another card if they want to do 2 modes again. Okay, they did decide to go 2 modes, and I drew a counterspell, so that kind of sucks. But they're down to 1 card in hand. I think I just start Fate Sealing now. Okay, they are playing Storm. Underworld Breach. What does that do? Lets them cast Ancestral Vision, so I don't like that. I'm gonna bottom it. I think the way it works is you can cast Ancestral Vision for 0. Okay, nice. Yeah, we had lethal with Kiki-Jiki and Inferno Titan. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we're playing against Storm. So Treachery is going to come out. Char could come in. Emrakul could come in, but I haven't seen their win condition yet. I don't know if it's Brain Freeze, so I'm going to wait on that. Fury could be kind of weak. I haven't seen their whole deck yet, but I'm just going to take out Fury and put in Embereth Shieldbreaker. There's a good chance they have some artifacts. Plus, just playing a 2-1 to attack them with is actually kind of what you want to be doing. Just want to like clock them as fast as possible. Okay, opponent kept 7. And I'm going to mulligan. I'm just going to continue the theme of mulliganing super aggressively on the draw. But this hand is actually just kind of bad. 4-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop. These cards are not necessarily good in this matchup. I need to have fast mana. Yeah, this hand is definitely a lot better. Counterspell is one of the best cards I can have, but Mox Pearl is really what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh. Draw Black Lotus? Wow. Wow, this draw is something else. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to play my creatures, and then I can just hold Counterspell up. I should be able to win with these creatures. Like they actually just need to remove Lelia here. Okay, I'll play the Char. I'm not really at risk of dying on turn 3. If they can kill me on turn 3, then so be it. But I need to stop the Pyromancer from making infinite jump blockers. Now, I probably won't play. Yeah, well, I don't have the red mana to play that, but yeah, now my opponent's at 4 and I have Counterspell up. Wow, we had some amazing draws with this deck throughout this draft. Seeing all of our fast mana but wow, okay. Another 3-0. That's pretty easy when you can just draft good decks instead of forcing Storm. But yeah, I actually liked this deck. I think it shows the power of single color threats like Imperial Recruiter, Spellseeker, Lelia, when paired with Moxen, and specifically off-color Moxen, because usually your Moxen are going to be off-color. But yes, doing stuff like playing turn 2 Lelia, or I mean, turn 1 off of Black Lotus is insane, but yeah, I really liked how this deck played out. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.